I'm going to be ranking classes in the game according to how impressive I personally believe that class is playing in solo. Is it harder for those classes to win? That's S tier. Or is it easier for that class to win? Then it's D tier, right? We go right down to the bottom. Let's just do a quick Bonk Wizard. Okay, where does Bonk Wizard go? I included this because even though it's not the most prolific, it's not the most popular, I do recognize it as a significant enough, like a mainstream enough way to play the class that I wanted to call it out specifically. Where do you think the Bonk Wizard goes? How impressive is playing Bonk Wizard, in my opinion, in solos? You guys were on the same wavelength. In my opinion, Bonk Wizard is in the A tier. I am very impressed with Bonk Wizards in solos. Why? Let's talk about it. The first thing, what is a major hurdle it has to overcome? The Bonk Wizard has to overcome long windups, right? Telegraphing. The Bonk Wizard has to cast their ignite spell, has to kind of like, or cast their other like magic, their fire damage spells, whatever it is. It's very obvious what the Bonk Wizard is doing. And it also, when they have ignite up, they are very conspicuous, right? What else is impressive about the Bonk Wizard? I'm not going to spend too long here because I don't think a lot of people play it, but I just wanted to give it respect because I do have respect for people that play this way. Slow, limited range options, can squish. Not always. They can be surprisingly tanky, which is really curious. But, you know, I do have a respect for a class that cannot block, that is slower, that has limited or very conspicuous range damage options, that are ostensibly squishy, that telegraph their moves and have very long time-based wind-up requirements. These are all impressive things about the Bonk Wizard. What are some unfair advantages that the Bonk Wizard has access to? In my opinion, huge damage. Huge damage. Surprising amount of melee damage output from the Bonk Wizard. From my shield fighter perspective, right? I'm always surprised at just how much bloody damage these guys can do. It blows my mind, right? In general, I do not have respect for low TTK, for fast TTK, for things that approximate one-shot builds. And the Bonk Wizard, 1-2 taps and you're dead, right? And that doesn't make sense to me, really. They also have good perks, right? Some of the instant casts, some of the arcane shield, the fire mastery. It is a very interesting and I think viable way to play Wizard. And I have a respect for that. I think it does too much damage. What's the other thing that pisses me off about the Bonk Wizard? In particular, as a melee fighter, right? And again, remember, right, I've got a strong melee fighter bias, right? Trying to block the dang magic staff. The staff swing of it is so janky and weird, right? It's just, it took me like a year. It took me 1 calendar year of exposure therapy and like quiet reflection and like note taking and VOD review to finally understand what I have to do to block this fucking weapon, right? It is ridiculous. So my bias is showing here, but I think it's just too easy to do melee damage. It's too easy to kind of like fight against a shield as you're with a magic staff, whatever it is. Janky staff animation, too much damage. But overall, respect. I think it's impressive. People that have the balls to play, the courage to play Bonk Wizard in solo, you have my respect. Certainly more respect than other classes on the list, right? Staff is the definition of jank. Yes, Doclips, I'm glad you understand. I feel like the huge damage is fair considering there's a compromise. I agree. And I would agree. I wish that overall there was slower time to kill, more hits to kill for everyone, okay? And I wish I had an easier time blocking the janky staff animation. That's my bias, okay? Hold up, is Blinn using us for therapy? Sure, right?